Sleepy Team will find themselves on the blue. Qlash Spain will find themselves on the red with counterpick potential and an immediate Lindis ban taken off the board.
That is a ban to go against the side of Redemption or Random, depending on whether who they're going to go with in that jungle. So, right off the bat, Sleepy Team is obviously looking to take that away from the jungle, make sure they can just dominate outside of that sphere.
Annette Elsu taken away. Now the fourth ban of the day, being able to pick it out. And Qlash Bane just, you know what? Sticking with consistencies, sticking with what they know. Florentino off the cards. That's now going to mean an opportunity for Sleepy Team to go for, they can either go for one of the big four, a Richter or a Sephora, or they can continue to target ban and see if they can limit the options of Qlash Bane. They do. Liliana is off.
Yeah, Liliana is a very strong hero, but not a hero that you typically ban out. So this allows a lot of heroes to get through because the target Wisp-ban comes through here from Qlash.
Do you go for the Sephora as a start here now, or do you end up to go for the Richter instead?
Telenas is very valuable in this draft, though.
That is right. That is a very interesting thing. Sky plays a Telenas. Sleepy Team, instead, they say, no, we want to go for the Richter. Could this immediately mean a Sephora Telenas?
Tell Seth right now.
Teamy, also a valuable pick, though, if you want to run the Telenas, and I think I agree with this. Teamy Telenas gives you the Resurrect potential. What other sideline marksmen are still in the cards for Z? Maybe we see a Yorn come out again. If we see that, we need a strong Resurrect potential, a strong frontline healing source for the team. Maybe you're looking for a Zenial to come through if you're going for the Yorn.
Right. I would love the Xenial on the side here for Sleepy. Or actually, either team has kind of the beginnings of that Immortal comp that we talked about. Xenial would be an amazing pick here for either side at the moment.
Sephora, of course, the easy lock-in for Sleepy Team, and then Knight gets back onto that Maraude. We saw a stellar performance of him yesterday, performing well, and Qlash Bane is going to immediately rebuttal with the Omen and the Zephys.
That gives them solid engage. The Zephys particularly will be able to dive in on this Yorn. Hey, I was right about that. It needs to be a Zenial. I'm not really sure about anything else here.
Please, Zenial.
Maybe a Crashed. I really don't like the Chognar.
Oh, they do need a support, though, unless they're playing Sephora.
Yeah, I'd be all right with the Crashed.
Yeah, sure. So Zenial wouldn't be as good because he's not as good in the support role.
Crashed is probably the best of their options, then.
Right. It can push people away from Yorn, have it's in a situation so they can disengage or re-engage.
So here's my concern. You kind of have a Fortress setup now coming through from Sleepy Team because they're going to use that Crashed for a solid front line, and then behind it they'll have the Muran, they'll have the Yorn, and they're relying on the Richter and the Sephora to be able to play around the Crashed. And what's weird is those are both characters that want to be able to take sustained fights inside the enemy team, and the rest of this roster is looking to play with burst damage from behind a Fortress in not a sustained
It's like a Air Fortress kind of thing, but yeah, I think you're right. Sleepy Team's comp, in theory, it could work, but it's too complicated. It's way too hard unless they've been practicing this specific comp for a long, long time. And I know they're a professional team, but I would really only trust this with the very, very top teams in the world, like maybe top 5 teams in the world, and unfortunately Sleepy Team aren't that. I think Qlash has a much simpler roster. They can make it work a lot easier.
Yeah, they have the Flash Zephyrs is a frontline dive potential, and then Omen Teamy will protect their Telenas during a long brawl fight. And the Tel just kind of out-damages a lot of other characters.
Yeah. The worry for me as well is if Qlash is able to get out ahead early, the snowball potential of their composition works out very well. If the Flash, the Telenas, and the Zephys are able to get themselves going, as well on the inverse, if Sleepy Team's composition gets behind, these are a vast majority of heroes that need items to make sure they are relevant in those fights.
You know what? I think it goes both ways, though.
It does.
I think that if you look at Sleepy Team, once they start to snowball, Richter can fight among 3 heroes. Murad can basically do the same thing. You can jump in there and just temporal turbulence on multiple heroes. Yorn can just clear all the towers. I think this game, even though these teams are pretty close in terms of skill, it's going to be a short one, in my opinion. Whoever gets ahead is going to snowball.
That was going to be my follow-up question. We're going to go one step deeper. If it does work on the inverse for both sides, what does the first 60 seconds look like in this game for you?
I think they're going to play very passively. And I think what's going to happen is a team is going to get maybe like 1,000 gold lead around the 5 to 6 minute mark. Not too big, but it's just going to avalanche in one direction. Well,
we're going to see which direction the snowball will occur. Is Sleepy Team going to continue to hold their place in second, or is Qlash Spain going to be knocking at the door and coming right through? Match 2, game number 1 begins.
Sleepy Team have an uphill battle off of yesterday's performance. and their draft here today, but they're already, it looks like, giving Z a little bit of extra farm, sticking him in the jungle early on.
Yeah, very interesting to... Well, I think they're helping out the Murad, actually.
Was that just Murad power farm?
Yeah, that was to make sure that 90 gets up in his jungle as quickly as possible. Murad is notoriously slow at farming, and so they wanted to give him that little extra support in case there was an invade, or just to have him have his temporal turbulence as quickly as possible.
Z able to help Knight gain a little bit of his early farm. That's not actually a bad idea at all. So let's talk about that bot lane matchup now that our attention has kind of been drawn towards it, if possible. Because we do have Yorn facing off against Telenas there.
Right, and both heroes are known as pretty immobile, but Yorn is decidedly the more immobile one because when he uses that fear shot, he has to stand still or else not all of his shots will go off. That gives an opportunity to Sky to hit multiple skill shots onto Z, whereas Z needs to really predict where Sky goes in order to hit his own skill shots because Sky can kite back and forth with the Telenas.
Does the Yorn win the flat DPS battle though?
He does if he can land multiple fear shots, but that revolves around Sky standing in one place for a long time.
Z will definitely have the wave clear battle, but it's pretty easy for Sky to kite that Mac play from behind town with the maximum range of the Eagle Eye. Qlash and the rest of the fight are just spreading out. Sleepy Team.
This is really interesting because they went for the Spirit Sentinel right away, which means that Sleepy Team are trying to rush this out, but Qlash knows what's going on.
Yeah, Sky, Mowgli, Zefta all nearby. They'll go right in for it. There's the Eagle Eye. Knight very low. The dive comes through, but it can't kill Knight. He uses Temporal Turbulence at the perfect time and absolutely survives in all. In the meantime, Fico's fallen. Few will get the trade in the enemy jungle, but that's not exactly the start that Sleepy Team were looking for.
That was pretty nuts right there because Zefta tried to go in, tried to kill Knight, but at the exact wrong moment because that's when the Temporal Turbulence was up. And then on the other side of the map, TJ, two members of Qlash tried to invade and try to take it while the Abyssal Dragon was being taken, but Fu was up to the task and 1v2s.
He did lose Fico in the fight. That does affect the result because Fico should be Zefta. Fico should be an incredibly powerful mid laner, and going down early as the Sephira may hurt the amount of damage he's able to provide.
Right, Fico, Sephira has a lot of utility no matter how much gold she has, so you would think that she doesn't really need the gold as much, but unless she has a lot of farm, she's not going to be doing the damage that you need from the mid lane, unless you have farm.
I would like to call out, though it didn't work because Knight had like a bigger brain than this galaxy, I would like to point out how clever it was of Zeftis to sit in that bush until he spotted someone low and then go in for the Mach Punch assassination.
Very, very smart. Nearly worked out perfectly. If he had taken out Knight there, that would have been a crazy advantage there for the side of Sleepy.
However, nearly does not win you games in AoV. Nobody got the Abyssal Dragon. Qlash hold on to a minor gold lead thanks to the rush of that Spirit Sentinel. They don't have anything else.
I just want to point out that I said the wrong team. It would have been a major advantage for Qlash. My mistake. Words are hard, TJ.
It's okay. I wasn't really listening anyway.
Oh, come on. That's just
Sorry. That was mean. That was rude. I don't know what happened. Of course I was listening to you, Daniel.
And then you scorned, you
shook
your head and you were like, why did he say that?
I wanted to seem edgy, like I was in control.
Okay.
Raptor is in control of the enemy jungle. Speaking of, he'll dive in, take away some of the enemy's monsters as Qlash fall back from Sleepy. Z in the bottom lane. He's got backup as well. This gets dangerous. There's a good another dimension. The Resurrect was up, though, that will turn it in favor of Qlash. Z's in a lot of trouble. They'll fall first. Metamorphosis stuns them all up. Cyclone from Zefta will slow down the fight, but all the stuns are there. Sleepy Team still in control. They're all low, though. This could get dangerous if Sky's able to push forward. They might have enough to burn down the low HP members, but they just have to play back, and they're unable to do more than clear wave.
TJ, that was the perfect fight. That was the perfect fight from Sleepy Team. They went in, they jumped in on the teamie, and Knight held his Temporal Turbulence. He knew that the Being a Bro would come out. They purposely killed him, waited for it to come out, used Temporal Turbulence to kill him afterward, and then Fico held his Tide of Life until the perfect moment as
Sleepy benefiting a lot from it. Killing the teamie looked like a... Oh, random. He can't get the kill. Fico, how did you survive? Random had the Death's Flurry. He just didn't think it was needed.
He did have, speaking of Fico, Fico had the flicker right on time there, so that did allow Fico to get out just in time before he went down.
That's devastating. Qlash now want to push forward across the map, mid and bot lane.
You know, after all these crazy team fights from Sleepy, you'd think they'd be ahead, but they're significantly behind in the gold. I take a look up and I'm very surprised.
Yeah, Qlash are actually only down 1 kill after all the team fights, and they've got the Abyssal.
Right.
It's kind of sucking.
Right, and they were ahead in gold before they even took that Abyssal and even up the Abyssal count. So this is just superior macro by the side of Qlash, and this is not something we've seen from them in the past. Usually they're one losing in the macro.
It's a good sign, particularly as Sky's able to continue farming in the side lane. I predicted them to win against Z. And so far, that's been the case.
You know, it's very much the Mowgli effect, in my opinion. The teamy effect, perhaps I should say, because they're constantly farming in this bottom lane. And the fact that he had has the Tide Colors mark, the first blue item, when you look at Teamy's build, that provides extra gold for both you and the ally that you're near. And combined with Teamy's Scavenge passive, which provides the same amount of gold for your allies when you're near them as when they're by themselves, you get actually extra gold.
Oh, nice! He doesn't get Zephyr. He falls instead, and Fuse in trouble. Qlash get 2 kills up top.
Oh, man. This gold is really putting this side into Qlash right now.
And the tower itself is in a lot of trouble down in the bottom lane. Qlash get it down to half HP.
We talked about it before in the past, TJ. It's gold that matters in the end. The kills that Sleepy Team had before didn't matter in the end because if Qlash has the gold lead, they will take all the team fights from then on.
Yeah, if Knight has 1 more short sword, he gets that kill in mid.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's just ever so slightly low in items. Now his team's paying for it across the map. He'll try and go in, but the Cyclone's waiting for his temporal turbulence to end. It almost captured him. Does force him back. Zephyr is able to get the rest of his team out.
Oh no, TJ, the Avalanche may be beginning here for a Qlash because Sleepy Team, they can't get anything done with this composition.
They can't hold towers. They certainly can't win fights. They'll try and grab Sky down bottom, but Sky's already left. He'll return now,
Should leave.
using Mowgli as the front line in order to get the whole bunch of damage in.
What?
How did Mowgli get that kill?
It was mostly Sky, but Sky had tons of damage. Oh.
I didn't think. Okay,
He just died. He didn't have his iframes. He thought he was going to have his iframes, but he didn't.
I just didn't see the Pooty Poots. I thought he was still iframed, but I guess the AoE stun just did the final damage.
Yeah, no, he had tons of damage coming out from Sky, and then Mowgli was able to get the last hit, but it was certainly Sky doing all that damage. I thought that Sky had to run away. But
Eagle
also,
Eye.
this game is ending. This is what, like I said, TJ, this is a snowball.
The Eagle Eye of Sky decimating the side lane. Now it comes through again to chunk the mid tower. That's a good ability from Knight, though, using the temporal turbulence.
Oh.
The Resurrect was active, I think. So
No. Z waited
was
it out.
barely after?
Z waited it out. Waited until the Being a Bro expired, then shot the hard shot. Very well played by Z.
Barely afterwards. Very tight timing on that so they could guarantee the kill.
Right. If you are looking at Teamy's abilities, when there's a green mark around him or his allies, then that means that Being a Bro is active. You wait until that green mark goes away. It takes about 2 to 3 seconds, and then you kill, which is what Z did expertly there.
Sleepy Team down 1 high ground, but still showing signs of life. Knight's temporal turbulence absolutely decimated the attacking Qlash side there, and Z stepped up as well.
You know, TJ, though, I think that part of the reason why Sleepy Team looks like they're in this is because Qlash smartly backed off, smartly went back to the fountain to make sure they had all their health bars up. They had a lot of gold, and I think they're going to continue the snowball right now.
Yeah, there's the dive, telling us. Chunking Z, who's already gone. Oh, Knight caught in the Cyclone, will be burned down. The temporal turbulence from Knight just cannot get the kill.
And if they continue to kill these monsters, TJ, then they're going to be able to nullify Knight. He can't use temporal turbulence without auto attacks.
And Fico died in the bot lane during that time, just being burned down by the Zephyrs of Random. Few himself up top is in a lot of trouble.
Oh, no.
The stuns never end. He was carried from a Pooty Poots into a Mach Punch, into a Death Beckon, into his death.
That's what Qlash does to you. They start taking these team fights, they chain the stuns, and then you are dead. And dead it looks like Sleepy Team is.
No metamorphosis for 09. Z has a lot of people diving him. The Cyclone inside the face. He gets the kill. That's so rude.